The residents of Lahaina, the residents of Maui, the residents of Hawaii, the residents of the United States are fed up. They know this was a land grab. They know this was an attack on these citizens for their land, to change the layout of Maui, to make it more accessible, to make it more convenient, to make it more eco-friendly.
Lived here on Oahu since 1980. Father, grandfather. This is an emotional meeting. Nani, you mentioned a moment ago, this is not about Maui. This is absolutely about Maui. And my concern, and I'm actually speaking to each of you sitting around this table. Each of you have a placard representing an organization. And I have a question before I actually have my testimony. By a raise of hands, are any of you participating in an event, in a restructuring as a stakeholder on Maui at any level, whether you're state, federal, private, or a private citizen? Are you engaged? Are you a stakeholder? Are you written? Is your name listed as a stakeholder of any of the redevelopment plans regarding a smart city? By a raise of hands, I would like to see a raise of hands. Because the information is out there. Raise of hands. I can tell you, Department of Planning, DLNR, DBED, Housing, all of these agencies, and I'm not saying to you directly, but you're here representing these agencies, therefore, it is your responsibility to tell the truth. Each one of these agencies have signed on as stakeholders for the redevelopment of a smart city in Maui. I'm asking you again, who is signed on?
So I'm sorry, but I asked for testimony pursuant to the agenda, and there's nothing on the agenda about smart cities. And if we could also refrain from yelling.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that, and I'll provide clarification. Smart cities is everything about housing. The idea that you're going to sit around this table, and I realize it's not on today's agenda, but the idea that you're going to sit around this table and make decisions about the long-term viability of sustained life on Maui without the people's input, I can tell you, is this a charade? It is true. Try go to Hele Mai Maui 2040.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a 5-minute break. I have repeatedly stated we are not discussing Lahaina.
Exactly
just to calm temperatures down. Okay, we will come back in 5 minutes. We're taking a recess.
You're all responsible, and I would like to talk to you when you say that it's not true. I can tell you, Hele Mai Maui 2040. Look at the stakeholders, and you're going to find all of your departments listed as stakeholders. Okay, I'll be right here.
So I went and looked into this.
They're crying. Yeah, it's heavy right now. You should feel that heaviness because this was not a natural disaster. And I would like actually samples taken from the soil. You guys put the screen up. You won't let anyone see what's going on inside. But we know very well that you guys, as the third largest stakeholders, the state, do want that land and can take it when you deem it a natural disaster. And that is disgusting. And that is why I'm also here today, because someone needs to call that out. We wanted the samples right away. You guys stopped the people from going in. It's just awful.
Think of this as numbers for buildings, for money. What about the people? What about the families that have been destroyed by this fire? And for the record, I will say this. It was not a natural disaster. This emergency proclamation is a fall. And let me tell you why. Because all of the hearings you hear, all of the testimony you hear, all of the social media you hear, it connects the dots to what's happening in Lahaina. Lahaina was our first United Kingdom capital. Funny how all the common people were taken out in one fell swoop of a fire.
Hi, my name is Jessica Wertheim. I was born and raised in Haiku, Maui. I am a mother, and I am a child of this living, breathing earth. I do not consent to AI control. I do not consent to smart cities. And I 100% know with every fiber of my being that this was not a natural disaster. This was a planned attack. There are many, many I mean, it's a 1 + 1 + 1 = 3 equation. You cannot call me a conspiracy theorist for being a critical thinker. Did you know that the CIA, the corrupt CIA, invented the words conspiracy theorist as a way to gaslight people for speaking up on the truth? I am here to protect the Mother Earth where I came from. I don't care that I was born in Maui. Okay? This is about the living earth and the people with good hearts. Okay? This is not about division. This is about unity, and this is about coming together and fighting for the rights of the people. Climate change does not exist. You guys are modifying our weather, okay?
Excuse me. Okay, I appreciate your comments again. I do, but we really need to stick to the items on the agenda. It is 11:10.
I don't care about your agenda. You know what? Your agenda can kiss my ass, okay? Your agenda can literally kiss my butt.
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
We're done.
Now, if you don't want to hear from me that Maui was an attack, if you don't want to hear it from the residents of Maui, because for some reason we're all crazy conspiracy theorists, all you have to do is go on the websites, the General Plan 2030 for Maui, the Haley Mai Maui 2040 website. The Haley Mai 2040 website is even more telling what they have planned for Maui. To make the roads more accessible, to make travel more convenient, to make stores more closer, so it's less taxing on the environment. So how exactly are you going to change this land? How are you going to change the layout of Maui if you have homes and land there that are in the way of these big changes? Especially if you have people there that do not want to sell their homes, that do not want to give up their lands. Well, you force their hand. Even if they wanted to stay, they can't. Problem is they rely on tourism. And now that tourism is no longer coming, a lot of these stores that these people rely on for jobs and attractions are closing up shop. So now, of course, these native Hawaiians, these people native of Maui, have to go to other states. They have to go to other areas where they can now make the money to support themselves. Sad enough, a lot of these people that own these ancestral lands are now looking to give it up for support for money to head out to Las Vegas. They have to head to Nevada, where there is a much larger Hawaiian population there. Like that woman who is speaking out against the council said, you can see how the 1 + 1 + 1 = 3. Yet some people choose to believe the science. They will say believe the science all day, but they will ignore the math. So you may be saying, well, what do we do? There's nothing we can do about it. Well, you talk about it. You spread awareness. You spread messages, just like these people were doing, talking to the council. You let it be known. I had no idea the Healy 2040 website existed and what they wanted to do for Maui. The plan is all laid out until this gentleman stood up and spoke about it. They even have an instruction manual on this website called The Final Plan, the Healy Mai Long Range Transportation Plan 2040, The Final Plan. Just skimming through this booklet, it's absolutely sick because you can see how they want to change the layout of these lands. What I'm reading here is the definition of a 15-minute smart city without using the words 15-minute smart city. And this is how the media gets away with fact-checking. They will say, well, no, there is nowhere here that mentions the words 15-minute smart cities. So to say Maui is building a 15-minute smart city is factually incorrect. Except when you read through this pamphlet, you will see this is the definition of a 15-minute smart city. I mean, look at this nonsense. Expand mobility choices to reduce traffic congestion. Again, make travel more convenient. So they have to open up more passageways, and I am sure a lot of these homes are blocking potential mobility. Now, if you do not believe this is a 15-minute smart city, listen to this. Goal number 4, connect and strengthen communities to improve quality of life. We need to improve access to important places in communities and help vulnerable populations thrive. As Maui grows, in other words, as it faces overpopulation, it is faced with the challenges of affordability and sprawling land uses, creating complete neighborhoods and town centers that connect people to their jobs, services, and amenities by walking, biking, and taking the bus enhances quality of life and fosters stronger relationships. I mean, how is that not a 15-minute smart city? And if anybody says to me, well, it is not, then what is the definition of a 15-minute smart city? And I know I'm going to have somebody in the comment section say, well, that sounds more like 20 minutes. I got minutes of horror. I got them good. So again, if you want to know why this attack on Maui took place, why they wanted this land, all you have to do is just read their instruction manual. It is right there on the Healy My 2040 website for Maui. And trust and believe, Maui is just the first of many, as the bigger layout is on the UN's website, the UN's 2030 agenda for a transformative world. I mean, this is some sick stuff, and it all looks pre-planned. And what's even more terrifying is that there are many more people missing, and many of those people, perhaps over 1,000, happen to be children. And on top of that, we do have about 15 school buses missing. And there is underground areas in Hawaii. And now, with the original inheritance, with the original residents of this land being displaced and being put in other states, having to leave for other states, this just means this area is going to become more expensive. This is going to be an elite-owned land. And I hope we're not looking at another Jeffrey's Island 2.0. In any case, thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.